It is Thursday, June 4th, 2020, episode 9. Some people still don't get it. And what kind of drugs is the Gotham Steel frying pan guy on? Coming up.
The greatest podcast hosted by someone who knows so precious little about almost everything. A journey into the mediocre mind of an exceptionally average person. This is Complaints and Observations with Dave LaPointe. Who the hell is Dave LaPointe?
So I had to hear Drew Brees talk about the flag yesterday, and this is kind of what I meant by some people just don't get it. I can't for the life of me figure out how some people still can't seem to wrap their head around the whole kneeling during the national anthem protest thing and what the point was. But here we are again. It just makes me really wonder what sort of reaction he expected from his own fucking teammates. And there were quite a few of them that rightfully fucking slagged him. And it's just tone deafness. I don't know. And I know he apologized this morning via Instagram with his stock photo. But I wonder if he even talked to his teammates before he did that. I'd love to know. It's fascinating to me. Because when he was saying those things during that interview, did he not think, oh boy, this may not go over too well? Is he that fucking clueless? He very well could be. It's entirely possible. And the guy's done a ton of good things for that area down in New Orleans, but Christ, man, know your audience. Read the room a little bit better. His judgment at times is, not good. This is one instance. He is a big supporter of the vehemently anti-gay marriage outfit Focus on the Family, which is not a good bunch of people. Just another one of these groups who thinks their opinion belongs in somebody else's bedroom. It's weird. And look, perhaps it's entirely my own rampant naivete in that I have this weird thought that most people are inherently good. In that I think it takes so much more work to be a piece of shit than it does to be like a decent person. To me, it's easy to be decent. But when you're a massive piece of shit, it's a lot of work to keep up the act so that you don't lose your status as a massive piece of shit. I'm not saying that Drew Brees is a massive piece of shit. I think he's far from it. I just think he's fucking clueless. He's just an idiot that can throw the ball well. It's just odd. I don't understand it. And his apology was okay. I mean, I think it's okay, but it's not for me. I don't know. What do I know? And again, I think I've said this now 17 times over the course of these 9 episodes, but fucking A, David, you picked the absolute worst fucking time to start a podcast about being a whiny, pedantic asshole. I mean, if I had started this a couple of years ago, I probably would have quit by now, but now I just bother friends and former colleagues on social media with this crap at this time. It's awful. I'm the fucking worst. All right. Let's get back. I can't fucking talk this morning. God. I think the coffee's wearing off. I'm a little hungry. Maybe it's a combination of the two, but here I am 4 minutes into the program and it's already a fucking disaster. So you just know where this shit's going. You know how this is going to go when Dave is off to a fucking shitty rousing start and kicking the desk. And I'm sure you heard like the rattling of the springs on the microphone stand here a second ago. But, yeah. But, all right. Back to the toy aisle. We'll talk about sports. I'll get to the Gotham Steel guy in a bit. But I've wanted to talk about this and who's going to play quarterback for the Patriots. It's strange to even think that, because if you really dig into it, it's been 27 years since anyone around here has had to even think about that. You had Bledsoe from 93. He was drafted and that was it. He was the starter, no ifs, ands, or buts. Brady took over when he got hurt. That hasn't stopped. That's it. I mean, sure, you had Matt Castle squeeze in there, but only because Brady's knee blew out. But that was it. I mean, he started the game, so he's still the starting quarterback. I looked into this, and as far as I can tell, only the Packers can say they had the same level of consistency. However, they had the Magic Man, Don Majkowski, start the 93 season before Favre took over due to injury, which is a weird coincidence. Don Majkowski. Wow, huh? The Magic Man, Don Majkowski. He wasn't really that good. He was okay. He was one of these weird late 80s, early 90s quarterbacks where you look at the numbers and you're like, geez, this guy wasn't very good. But it was a much more rush-focused offense back then. So, they didn't throw the ball 75 times. It really wasn't until Bledsoe got to the league. Him and Warren Moon. Warren Moon threw the ball over the field, the whole run-and-shoot offense. But, I mean, I think, and I could be wrong, but the first, non-run-and-shoot quarterback that threw the ball all over the field was Drew Bledsoe, I think. Again, I could be wrong. But, I mean, the Packers haven't had the same level of success with only 2 Super Bowls. They say that only 2. Like, fuck, how fucking spoiled are we here? Yeah, that franchise sucks. They only won 2 Super Bowls in 27 years. Like, good grief. I think we've been to 10, right? Is it 10? 9 or 10? We won 6. Lost 3. Yeah, that's 10, right? I think so. I think it's 10. But honestly, it's fucking absurd. And just because I know that my audience, all 4 of you, are curious about this, the Browns have had 34 starting quarterbacks over that same period of time. 34. That's fucking crazy. 34. And we're sitting here like, oh, Jesus, who's gonna start for us this year? The greatest quarterback of all time just left. Now what? Well, now you have to, pick up the pieces and move forward. Not even pick up the pieces. That's fucking stupid to say. Like, they got sick of each other and left. I'll get to that in a second. But I fell into a weird Don Majkowski rabbit hole and spent way too much time with like late 80s, early 90s players. It was fun. I enjoyed it. One guy that came up, Freddie Joe Nunn. Guy was a fucking monster linebacker for the Cardinals in the 80s and 90s. The St. Louis and then Phoenix Cardinals. But yeah, that dude was good. Anthony Dilweg was a backup cornerback in Green Bay. He played 3 years and now is a real estate mogul. Go figure. Mike Tomczak, another quarterback. He was in Chicago for a bit as a starter and then a backup for a bunch of teams. I think he backed up Cordell Stewart at one point, but I'd like to do an entire show just on 90s backup quarterbacks. That would be fucking awesome. Not for you, but for me. I'd like to just hear myself talk about 90s backup quarterbacks. Maybe early 2000s too, but maybe I would probably just focus on the 90s just because the 90s were the best. Yeah, easily. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. I think both Belichick and Brady just wanted some time apart, like a troubled marriage. It's a dumb fucking comparison. As if a relationship between a coach and a quarterback or a manager and an employee is anything close to that, don't use that. It's dumb. I hate myself for doing that, but they didn't want to work with each other anymore, which is fine. And all the bullshit about discourse and strife and Foxborough. Ooh, well, yeah, they just got fucking tired of each other. They worked together for 20 fucking years. It happens in life. Why the hell wouldn't it happen in sports? It's the same thing. It's incredibly rare to have that kind of prolonged success in any sport, and it likely exasperated the entire situation. That's a ton of fucking pressure. A ton of pressure. You got to keep that up every year. As of right now, there's far less pressure on both sides as they try something new. Far less pressure. I mean, Brady, I think he's going to have a good year. Do I think the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl? No. I mean, look, if the Patriots don't, if the Cowboys don't, I hope the Bucs do. I hope they win. Good for them. As long as the Giants don't. Fuck the Giants. But, and at the same time, I don't think the Patriots are going to be that bad. 10-6, 11-5 wouldn't surprise me at all. But here's the thing. I fully believe that Brian Hoyer is going to start the season as a starter. And not because he's the better quarterback. I am certain that Belichick believes that Jarrett Stidham is going to be a good quarterback in this league. Otherwise, he wouldn't be on the team. I'm certain of that. I'm also certain that being the replacement, if you will, for Tom Brady is way, way too much pressure for anyone other than Brian Hoyer. Right off the jump, right from the start of the season. He names him, let's say, third preseason game or second, however many they're having this year. I don't even fucking know. Says, hey, look, Brian Hoyer is the starter. Boom. Go into the season, play the Dolphins, probably beat the Dolphins with fucking Brian Hoyer. And then, things get a little bit more difficult. But, I mean, the thing about it, Hoyer has been with this team on and off since he was signed as a undrafted quarterback. And I think he just gets it. Like, he's a veteran. He's not a terrible quarterback. He's just not a starter. He's played for a lot of bad to average teams. And I think he was brought back here to be the adult in the quarterback room. Not because Bill Belichick's like, well, now I can have Brian Hoyer start for me. No, I don't think so. It could also be that his middle name is Axel. Brian Axel Hoyer. Family name, but it doesn't fit, doesn't flow. Now, if he went by Axel Hoyer, that guy's a fucking winner. Starting quarterback, Axel Hoyer. It's incredible. Think about that. That's fucking great. But listen, Axel Hoyer, he doesn't turn the ball over too much. Knows his place and knows the offense. I mean, look, Belichick could very well just throw Stidham to the wolves right from the jump. Especially now, given that there isn't going to be anybody in the stands to boo him if he fucks up. And so, I mean, his plans may have completely shifted given this COVID shit. I say his plans as if I know what the fuck he was doing. But look, on paper right now, that schedule is tough. Getting through the first 4 games with Hoyer may be the best way to go. But in the end, though, I think Stidham is the guy. I think. I mean, who the fuck knows with Bill? But people shit on his draft record. But I mean, I'll get you the quarterbacks in a bit. But he's got Hoyer, Stidham, the fucking dog shit quarterback they signed who played at Michigan State last year. I can't remember, Brian something. Can't remember his name. He was not good. I don't know why the fuck he must have been. Oh, geez, that's it for quarterbacks. We may as well sign this guy. The other guy they signed is much more intriguing. Jamar Smith out of Louisiana Tech. That kid's a legit athlete. I was reading a great story about him in The Athletic, and he was actually drafted by the Padres to be a catcher. How fucking ironic. Another catcher, quarterback. See where I'm going? That's where I think the similarities end between Jamar Smith and Tom Brady, but still. He was on the baseball team at Louisiana Tech, but he only played 7 games in 4 seasons. And apparently he was still dogged all through college to sign by, I think it was Oakland and San Diego were the 2 teams that were chasing him. So apparently he's got an arm, from what I've read, but he throws the ball without holding the laces. I can't say I like that. I find that very strange. I don't know how the fuck that's possible, but that's what he does. So like, I don't know shit, and I'm saying this because I root for the Laundry, but Stidham could be a good quarterback. Most of the belief is based on the fact that Belichick drafted him. If you look at all the quarterbacks that he's drafted over the years, they're good players. Most of them. Or they're just football guys. Jacoby Brissett, James Garoppolo, Matt Castle, even fucking Edelman, if you really want to get into it. Jacoby Brissett is better than James G. Sticking to that for as long as I live. Then there were some other guys he drafted. Danny Etling a few years ago, who's still in the league. He's a backup in Atlanta. Ryan Mallett hung around for a while. Bit of a head case, but he hung around. And then there's like Cliff Kingsbury, who was smart enough to manage to hoodwink the Cardinals into giving him a head coaching job simply because he's incredibly handsome and having an offense that was built around, on chucking the ball everywhere. Kevin O'Connell out of San Diego State, another guy. He'll be a head coach soon. He's the OC for the Rams, and given the league's collective hard-on for Sean McVay, another former draft pick, Zach Robinson, will probably get a head coaching job soon because he works for the Rams as well. Apparently he's a wide receiver coach. Only Rohan Davey, who may have some kind of gig with LSU, not sure, and Matt Gutierrez, who was undrafted out of Michigan but played with the Patriots for a couple years, are completely out of football. Matt Gutierrez works for CBRE now, according to his LinkedIn page. And it shows his football time as quarterback. What a fucking baller-ass move that is, huh? Oh, what'd you do prior to your sales career? Well, I was a quarterback. That's the end of the conversation. Here's the job, sir. But like, he doesn't draft dumb quarterbacks. It's an indisputable fact, and I don't think Stidham is going to buck that trend. I really don't. He could go out there and be average. He could be Brian Hoyer, a little bit taller. Who knows? I don't know. It's a good thing is nobody knows, right? But I believe in the coach. I believe in who he believes in. And I think he believes in Jarrett Stidham. So I think it's going to work out fine. Do I think they're going to, win 6 Super Bowls in 20 years? No. Do I think that they're not going to suck? Yeah. Which, honestly, without having Tom Brady on the team, that's all you can really hope for, is don't suck. Because why? No one's going to fucking watch if they suck. It's not even that. It's just, I don't want to say it would make the previous 20 seasons look worse, because that's not accurate. But, my hope is that, the success was based on 2 factors and not just one. So it was based on Belichick being a great coach, Brady being a great quarterback, they came together and boom. But I mean, if Belichick goes out and has 3, 7, and 9 seasons, well, then people are going to say, well, geez, obviously it was the quarterback and not the coach. Which would be somewhat accurate, right? So that's my thoughts on that. I'm curious to see how things go in terms of the NFL as a whole with everything that's going on. I do know that they allowed coaches back into the building today or next week or something. I don't know, but it was announced today. So, but there was nothing about players, which there doesn't have to be right now. I mean, honestly, they shouldn't do anything until training camp is supposed to start, which isn't until middle of July. So, let this sort of play out. Figure shit out. Don't go back until it's reasonably safe to do so. Because once you're back, you're back. There's going to be you can't fucking socially distance shit. You can't do all the crap that people have been doing to, protect themselves, quote unquote. So it's going to be full bore once camp opens. Let's go. Boom. Done. So now that I've said that dumb shit, let's move on to dumber shit, shall we? The Gotham Steel guy has to be on some kind of drugs, no? He's got to be. That much energy about a fucking frying pan. Frying pan. Honestly, I need to keep a list of all the shit that I fuck up. I mean, honestly, the minute I turn the microphone on, the first time I did this, I am your horse. Did I say horse or horsed? I might have said horsed. But for what my brain moves faster than my mouth. And it gets me in trouble when I say shit like frying pan. Anyways, that much energy about a frying pan is not normal. Much less one that is as seen on TV. How many fucking people are rushing to their phone or to the website to order one and are then thrilled that they're getting a second one for free after shipping and handling, of course. How many of them? No CODs. I always wondered why somebody would pay COD for anything. And then what's to stop the delivery person from just fucking I didn't get any money from them. I just dropped the package. What are you talking about? Cash. No cash. Never understood the COD. Maybe that's just me. But then again, I never ordered anything COD because at the time of, CODs when they were big, I was a child or a younger person. I wonder when they stopped. When did CODs stop? It just brings up Codfish and Call of Duty. So, cash on delivery, apparently not on the internet. Good topic, Dave. Nice job. Anyway, I'm sure they've sold a fuck ton of these things because this suave motherfucker is just up there casually swirling around a couple of eggs and wiping melted candy off of this chemically treated copper pan. I wouldn't fucking eat anything off of that alien contraption. No fucking way. It's just not normal. And this fucking dude is like, oh, we're gonna cook fucking s'mores in this frying pan and throw it in the oven. Like it's an everyday occurrence. Nah, man, I'm good. Thanks. I'd rather just have a normal pan and then wash it than deal with whatever fucking Area 51 tech you just made my eggs on. No thanks, dude. If you have one, I'd love to hear about it. Tell me about your experience with the alien pan. If shit tastes weird on it, because my guess is that it does. It has to. Or I'm missing out, because I wonder if this was the same reaction that people had when Teflon came out. Like, oh, you slide shit off the pan like it's no big deal. And you're eating on a layer of fucking asbestos or something. I don't know. I don't really know much about frying pan tech. So, I mean, that could be on me. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for episode 9. A little short today. I didn't have a ton prepared other than my Patriots quarterback rant there. And the other thing that I did want to get to is that I think now I am actively looking for a regular recurring guest or a co-host or something. I have made the decision that once I have secured this interested party, I am going to purchase, a mixer, another mic, whatever, as we get away from the pandemic and the fear of disease and death with this respiratory ailment. Have somebody in, make fun of them incessantly, just because it's funny. I can do that thing. I can riff off of someone else and fucking tear them to shreds. Not really. I'm a nice guy, remember? But I would like to have somebody else. I think it would make the show flow. And it's weird. Looking back on all the episodes here, all of the shows end basically the same way, which is me saying, hey, I would like to have somebody else on the show. Whether it's an interview, voicemails, emails, anything. If you know someone who might fit that bill, let me know. If you think you would fit that bill, let me know. I'll make that decision. I'll be the judge. Because I'm almost certain I'm going to hear from some people, and I'm going to immediately delete that message. So let me know. Love to hear from you. Love to see what we could do. It'll be fun. It's a hobby. You're not going to get rich doing this. You're not going to get rich sitting around talking about nonsense like fucking frying pans and Patriots quarterbacks. In fact, it's going to cost you money. That's how it is. But, it's fun. I enjoy it. I would like to enjoy it a little bit more. That's the goal, a hobby you enjoy, something you like doing. Anyways, that is it. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. If I did, that's on you. Sorry. But again, reach out, voice messages, email, showmail at complaintsandobservations.com. The website, complaintsandobservations.com. I should have a blog up tomorrow, I think. But that's it. Godspeed. Ta-ta.